Hello and welcome to episode number 32 of Intuitive Life and Business Sparks podcast by me, your host, Barbara Bryce. Maybe you don't know me yet. I'm 42 years old. The most important thing. I'm a mom of 3 kids. I'm a veterinarian. And I'm an intuitive life and business coach. And that's why I'm making this podcast. My mission is to help and support you to reconnect to your own intuition and to also reconnect with nature and to lead a life from your heart and realize what an adventure and what an invitation this life is for you to be lived now in the moment to the fullest. Okay, and we are in the year 2020. What a ride, what would you say? And the topic of today's episode is both. I've been at the numerology event at the beginning of this year. I think it was in January. And there it was said that 2 has also the part of being both. 2 is a number of decisions, of choices, but also of despair. In German, it even has the 2 in this word. Despair means Verzweiflung, and zwei means 2 in German. And this podcast is called Both because in this year 2020, where we have 2 twos, I feel very much that it is a year where we are invited to use and be aware of both, of fear and love, of femininity and masculinity, of black and white, of consciousness and unconsciousness, of the earth and the cosmos, of life and death, of health and disease, young and old, you name it. And both doesn't mean that you have to judge. It doesn't mean that one is better than the other. It means both. And I can give you a funny example out of my life. I started to work as an intuitive life and business coach in 2017 after having been fired from my last job as a veterinarian. And I thought I would never go back. I even wrote a blog post telling that there is no way back. And universe sends us lessons to learn. And I am working as a veterinarian again, part-time, and I'm working as an intuitive coach. And it was such a funny lesson for me because I thought, first of all, I thought there was really nowhere back. I didn't see the option, and I closed my heart also to this option, to this profession, which I really also love very deeply. So universe gave me the chance to go back, and it was so easily, and it feels so joyful, light, and fulfilling because this profession helps me to connect to nature. It helps me to connect to animals, and it helps me to stay on earth while I'm also doing my intuitive work. And I've realized by working again as a veterinarian and doing both, it was in my head that I thought I have to choose. I have to choose either being an intuitive spiritual worker or being a veterinarian. And this year is inviting us to see both and to live both. And there we get to the zero of the 2020. It's this making us whole again, with all our light and shadow, with all our abilities, which we thought some of them were not useful, with all our talents or values, or we call them strengths and weaknesses. What if the weaknesses are also part of our life, just as much as our strengths? And what if it's only our judgment which makes them to weaknesses or to strength? This year invites us to see the whole picture. This year invites us to make ourselves whole again. This year invites us to live our femininity and our masculinity in a harmonious and balanced way. This year invites us to face our fears and choose love. This year invites us to connect with every human being on a deeper level, to see that anybody's pain is our own pain too. So I'm so deeply grateful for this journey and so deeply moved at the same time. I feel the fears and the pain going on in the world, but I also feel the love and the joy. And that's what our lives are about. It's not to suppress the bad feelings and only play happy all the time. It's to embrace and live through both. And only these experiences and these feelings make us whole, make us authentic, make us the human beings we are on this planet. So 2020 is the year of both for me. And maybe it has something maybe if we take out the drama and the pain or the judgment out of these words or situations, it gets, I wouldn't say, yeah, maybe it gets a bit lighter, or it helps you to give a different perspective. It helps you to see this as a journey, as an invitation, as an adventure, a gift. Just one spark of the whole universe. And it helps us also to maybe enjoy a bit more, laugh a bit more, be grateful, and see that this is just a tremendous invitation to start living your life at your own terms. make your choices from your heart, and have the courage to grow from there, step by step, at your own speed, please. Don't let yourself be pushed or pulled or pressed into some scheme or some schedule. Make your own schedule. Make your own plans, dreams, visions. And yes, there are people here to support you. But the first step is to acknowledge yourself, your life, your moment. And know that this is part of the concept life, both. It gives you a lot of mercy. It takes out a lot of fighting against one or the other. All this energy which was used to suppress things or judge can be now used for your journey, your life, your thriving in this world. And yes, the world needs you. It needs you exactly the way you are, with all your strengths and weaknesses, with all your black and white, with all your light and your darkness, because that makes you human, that makes you unique, and that makes you the person you are. That makes you whole. That's why we have both this year. We have 2 2s and 2 0s. So take this word with you. To me, it helped so much to surrender, to relax, and to see that sometimes the plans of the universe are so much, maybe bigger, maybe just different. They're just so much wiser than the way we want to plan things. And I say this very often, it's not the way that you have to lean back and wait. You just are allowed to surrender and ask your heart, what do you want to do? What you're ready for? How do you feel? And what makes your heart sing? And then stay committed to your truth, to your values, to your journey, and especially to yourself. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for listening.